tactile. But as far as seeing, she's seeing basically only shapes and shadows. So see, we got no necklace and no hoop earrings, so we're good. And she is going to want to come and hug you right around the neck.
Okay.
You're just going to support her underneath.
Am I keeping the pillow? No. Okay.
You can sit on your lap if you wanted to. Just gives her a little support, because if she's not supported, she'll hang on much harder around your neck. So this is Zoe. Zoe is 14 months old, almost. Her birthday was December 16th. That is when she started to transition down here to her big girl environment from being up in the house. And so, you know, she'd be down here like for an extra hour after her encounters and building up. And at the point right now, she's probably spending 5 nights a week down here and 2 nights a week up in the house. And but she is very, very, very people oriented, and she just likes to be people with all the time. So
she was in the house all the time?
Well, she lived in the house she got here at 4 months, and she never spent any time down here until she was a year. And our baby Sloth, the little baby also, he came here when he was maybe a couple weeks older than she was when she came. And he won't be staying down here until he's a year either. So, yes, my room is 80 degrees and 50% relative humidity all of the time. But fortunately, I like it hot. So does the boss. So these guys are, as you observed, they're 2-fingered sloths. Traditionally called 2-toed and 3-toed, but there is a move to start calling them 2-fingered and 3-fingered, because they all have 3 toes on the back feet, and on the front it is more like hands than feet. So, and you know, the front ones are what differentiate the 2 animals. So, moving to 2-fingered, 3-fingered. There are some other basic differences between 2- and 3-fingered sloths, and that is their spines are set up differently. So a 3-fingered has 9 vertebrae in their cervical spine between their skull and their shoulders. So they will turn their head 270 like an owl. A 3-fingered has 3 vertebrae of a tail. 2-fingered has no tail. So those extra 7 vertebrae are between the hips and the shoulders of a 2-fingered sloth. So if this is his hips and this is his shoulders, he can turn until his hips and shoulders are basically 180 out from each other. So a 2-fingered moves more like a slinky, and a 3-fingered moves more like an owl. Now with most of our animals, we find that animals mirror people. If you get a nervous, excited person on a horse, the horse is going to be nervous and excited. But with sloths, we find that people mirror sloths. So you take a sloth in your arms and the world just sort of slows down and melts away a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
And you really can't explain it adequately to somebody until they hold a sloth.
So I need an emotional support sloth.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So Kevin, that just walked out, his significant other is a therapist, and she's trying to come up with some sort of a animal therapy thing that she could do here. But yeah, the sloths, there's just a calm that they exude that you really can't explain. But once we've been on live for a few minutes here, I will give my disclaimer about why you should not buy yourself a sloth.
Yeah.
Because certain places, like the Sloth Conservancy, hate what I do, because it makes it look like it would be a good idea to own a sloth as a pet. And it is actually a horrific idea. The reason that they say as blanket statements that it is always stressful to a sloth to hold a sloth, which you can see how stressed she is, and that it is always harmful to a sloth to pet a sloth. They are talking about wild sloths. I 100% agree with the things that they say when referring to a wild caught sloth.
Of course.
This sloth is many generations captive bred. She is more generations removed from the rainforest than I am from the Nina Pinta in Santa Maria.
Yeah.
So she does not have a biosphere living in her fur that if you're petting a wild sloth, it harms their biosphere that they rely on to live. And she is not stressed by being petted in the same way that, you know, You could find a white-tailed deer in a petting zoo that was captive bred, or you could find a white-tailed deer in the forest. Don't pet the one in the forest. It's not gonna go well for either one of you.
Yeah.
And if you are looking online where you can buy a sloth, if you see a sloth and it is priced less than your car, you are buying a sloth that was kidnapped out of the rainforest. It is not going to go well for the sloth, and it will not go well for you. Similarly, there are house cats, and many, many people have and enjoy house cats, and the cats enjoy it too. If you take your house cat and you chuck it out into the forest, it will be short. If you take a feral cat out of the forest and try to have it live in your house, it will be ugly. And same way, wild-caught sloth versus captive-bred sloth. And they are against some of the animal encounters because some of the animal encounters are unethical practices, and they kind of lump everybody together. And if you're watching online, one way that you can tell if a place, or you can get an idea if a place is ethical caring about the animals or not, would be how many times a day they book these guys. So ours do 2 encounters a day per sloth, that's it. You can find places that book them open to close every 15 minutes. And that's not a good thing for a sloth, in my opinion. And you also can find places where they're booking their sloths for many hours a day where they have pulled the sloth's teeth, so it's not possible for it to bite you. You can see that our sloths have their full set of teeth. They do what they do because they like it. They only do 2 encounters a day, and it is their high point of the day. They love to cuddle with people. If we had the ability to provide longer experiences, that would be fine. I just can't facilitate it. It's we're not so much guarded of the time that they spend with people as we are with the number of people that they see. So we love them like pets, and we're very, very guarded with them.
So is she full? Is she full sized?
She's nearing her full adult mass, but she's nowhere near her full adult body. So if you see our adult sloth, his teeth are about that long, and her teeth are about that long. And if you see our adult sloth, his claws are about 3 inches long, hers are about 1 inch long. And our adult sloth's hair is much longer than her hair is, but that is her adult coat. The long hairs of her adult coat are her adult coat. If you see pictures online of Dash, the newest baby sloth, his hairs are about that long. He's like a little chia pet.
I just watched that one, the TikTok on that little guy.
Yeah.
Was he born here, or did you?
None of them are born here. We don't have any mother
You don't
animals
breed them?
here. No. But our baby animals come from a specific breeder who is a doctor of veterinary medicine who's been doing it for 30 years. And he doesn't like me to name his name because he doesn't like his phone to ring. But he has been raising sloths for about 30 years, and as far as I'm aware, he's the leading sloth expert in the world. And he has the most genius system for raising baby sloths to come out like this. And that is that his mother animals are clicker trained. So click, 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 I'm gonna take your baby, but it will be right back. So it doesn't stress the mothers, and therefore it doesn't stress the babies. So starting from day 14 of their life, they're being held directly by humans every day of their life. Start with 30 seconds, then 45, then a minute, so on and so forth, until by the time the mother has weaned her baby of her own choosing, the baby is being held by humans 30, 45 minutes at a time, multiple times a day. And when a mother sloth weans its baby, she just leaves, doesn't come back to the baby anymore, whether wild or free.
So like birds like that, we're done?
Yeah, we're
Off we
done.
go.
Yep.
Cool.
And they are solitary animals. They don't relate to their in family groups at all. There's no such thing as a mated pair. Animals mate, but there's not any pairs of them. And it takes them 2 or 3 minutes to mate, and then they might never see each other again. And so you can house more than one sloth in a big enough environment, but one is going to pick this side and one is going to pick that side. And they aren't mean to each other necessarily, but they could care less that the other one is there.
Gotcha.
Their thing is their thing.
That's interesting.
So,
Sure.
we interact with all of our animals in a way that they are comfortable with. So the adult sloth next door to us, he was in a static display for 2 years before I had him. So when he came here, his sloth encounter was 2 years in the making. Because you can force an animal to eat out of your hand just by not feeding it any other way, or you can let them pick. And so to get him eating out of my hand, it was just pick up his own food out of his own dish and offer it to him. And if he wanted to eat it from my hand, fine, and if he didn't, he's not gonna miss a meal or anything.
Right.
So that took a year till he discovered he would prefer to eat from my hand than out of a dish. And it was another number of months until he wanted to eat from strangers' hands. And his environment over there is 20-some feet tall. If he doesn't feel like coming down, he's not.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is extraordinarily rare that he doesn't want to come down for his encounters because he likes them. But if he doesn't, there's no repercussion to the sloth. He gets the same food you would have fed him by hand in his dish.
Yeah.
There's no harm.
Right.
It's okay. We have more sloths and we'll show you a different one if he doesn't feel like playing that day.
Yeah.
And that's the way we are with all of our animals. If one doesn't want to play along one day, that's fine. I've had an off day before.
It's their home. We're visiting.
So when people stay stay here, do they get to encounter everything while they stay? Is that like included?
No, everything is a la carte.
It is, okay.
And some people perceive that my wagons are not as nice as the nearby wagons. They're exactly the same from the same manufacturer. The nearby place just charges twice as much. But we don't try to build the cost of anything into any of our stays because we want all of our stays to be as affordable as possible for everyone. And we have the full range. So like the glam site, I think it's $40 a night. And obviously I'm not building hundreds of dollars worth of encounters into $40 a night. And the most expensive thing here is the camel condo. But if you're trying to sleep 10 people in Motel 6, it would cost you more. So I was enlisted my first 10 years in the Navy and couldn't afford to take my family to do anything.
Yeah.
So now that I'm sort of a little bit on the other side of that, we are trying to make it so that people can come here with their own family and friends and make lifetime experiences that they don't have to break the bank for.
Nice. Where are you stationed?
Well, I was in the Navy, so I was a year of nuclear power school in Orlando and South Carolina. And then I was in Norfolk, Virginia for 10 years. And then I was a year of flight school in Pensacola, and then straight back to Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay, so you're East Coast the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're originally from the West Coast, so.
Oh, yeah?
I worked at NASCO down in San Diego out of high school, and then so down by 32nd Street, but we had moved up to Washington. So we were outside of Bangor and outside of PSNS, which is, well, Naval Station Bangor, Bremerton now.
Well, I lived right outside Miramar.
Yeah, you did.
My friend that I was
Top
in-
Gun was there, so.
Yeah.
My friend that I was in college with, last time I was in Seattle, he was the base CEO of the Bremerton, NAS Bremerton.
It's, since we moved here, it's odd for us not to be around military, because we were always around military
Right,
our
right.
whole lives. So, yeah, especially Navy.
That's
So,
true, yeah. No, there's not gonna be a Navy
no,
not in Tennessee?
my dad christened the Connie
Oh,
in
okay.
Vietnam,
Yeah.
and then he was there for the decommissioning too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he got to do both. So,
Are you gonna take a turn holding?
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
You doing okay?
Yeah, yeah, but I want you to have a turn.
Yeah, I'll hold there for a few minutes. I'd rather you get,
Super sweet.
I'd rather you get most of it. Today's our anniversary, so.
Oh, cool.
32 years. I
Nice.
think it'll work.
You're ahead of me. I'm on, let me think, I was born in, I hope my wife's not watching live. She's in Italy right now. I was married day after Christmas in '95, so this year will be 30.
Okay, good. Yeah, we were talking about it on the way here, so you Googled it, it's, we're top 8%.
Yeah,
So only 8% of people will beyond 32 years stay married. So this was a surprise. I booked this for us today.
oh yeah, I spoke to you yesterday, didn't I, on the phone?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Yeah. I said, does she know? And you said, yes, she knows.
Yeah,
I
knew
said,
that,
because
yeah.
if they don't know, you just say, we're here for the encounter, and then they don't know until they see the animal.
yeah.
Yeah, all I would've seen was the camel signs.
I couldn't keep it in. It
Yeah.
was too much of a, I wanted to tell, well, we have 4 daughters, so we want to tell all of them.
Right,
This
are they
will be-
watching live?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I didn't know it was live
We're
stream.
on Facebook and TikTok right
Oh,
now.
nice.
If you wanna call them and tell them there, they can see. How old are your kids?
Oh, they're all adults, 20,
Okay.
27 to
22s.
22.
Yeah.
Mine are from 38 to 20. I have 10.
Oh, wow.
This is good that she's like slowly sliding down, right? Just 'cause that means she's comfortable.
Oh yeah, she's just chillaxing.
And petting, I'm doing the petting right.
Yep. Slow like a sloth. She's wide awake though, you can tell by the speed of her respiration that she's wide awake.
Okay.
She just is chill and enjoying company. So TikTok or Facebook, either one, they could search or Cody Riverside Farm.
I don't know if it's gonna get out. I don't have a signal here.
Hmm.
Inside the building, it's okay. Look at her, little sweetie. Beautiful little animal.
So if you see her tomorrow or the next day, you'll be looking at a skinny sloth.
Hmm.
Right now she's like a little fat Buddha
Hmm.
because they eat a tremendous amount of food and they only go to the bathroom 3 or 4 times a month.
Oh.
So
So she's a little
judging by
loaded.
her size, when she gets to pudgy little fat Buddha, that means tonight or tomorrow night she's gonna go to the bathroom
Okay.
and she will lose about 3 pounds.
Holy cow. Oh.
There's little poop.
Yeah, they eat about 10% of their body mass every day.
Okay.
Put that to human perspective, I weigh 180, so that means I would be eating 18 16-ounce
Wow.
ribeye steaks in a single serving.
Oh, my.
And yet they go to the bathroom only 3 or 4
Mm.
times a month. That's solid and liquid at the same time.
Wow.
And drop 1/3 of their body mass when they go to the bathroom, approximately. So again, I weigh 180. That means a 60-pound pile,
Mm.
or a bag of dog food in a 5-gallon bucket. It was
Wow.
going like a sloth. So epic, yeah. They eat really low quality food, mainly leaves, but lots of it.
Yeah.
So
Every day.
every day, yeah. So if they eat 10% of their body weight every single day for 10 days before they go to the bathroom, that means that they have eaten 100% of their body weight since they last went to the bathroom. So if they drop 1/3, that means they did metabolize, as in convert into energy 2/3 of it. Still, big pile.
Alright, how do I pass her
We're
off?
gonna transfer her on to Snuggie.
Sure.
1 second.
Okay.
Hello. All right, great. Stay left where the pond splits the driveway. Turn right on the first gravel drive, and we'll meet you at the pavilion in between the 2 barns. All right.
I like that one.
All right, so we're gonna take the Snuggie and we're gonna say, "Night, Zoe." So it tells her she's moving.
Oh.
Night, baby. Good girl.
Her little face.
Oh, good girl. And we're gonna swap chairs.
Perfect.
There you go.
Hi, sweetie. Oh, my.
There you are. She's likely to rub her nose around your
Oh.
beard. She likes to check out different textures. So, what brought you all to Tennessee?
Freedom.
Yeah, me too. I lived in Virginia and I was a college landlord for 26 years.
Mm.
And at the point that kids no longer had the right to know the gender of their roommate, I was done.
Oh, where are you going, sweetheart?
In Commonwealth of Virginia, if your ID says female, you are a female. And even your own roommates don't have the right to know any different. And when they find you in the bathroom standing and peeing and are uncomfortable with that, too bad.
Yeah, we were in Olympia, Washington. This little, we call it the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
During 2020. So, not the best place to be. heat Seattle, but not by much.
Guess the rain the last couple of days made you feel at home though.
Oh,
Actually, when it drizzles, that's when we feel at home. When it's a downpour, we're like, we just say the clouds here work, and so then they empty and move on.
Right.
One of, like, the first year we were here, I guess the second year we were here, and it had about a couple of weeks of drizzle, and everybody was complaining about the weather. I'm like, feels like back home to us, but everybody else is used to the downpour
My
and
pond is still 2 feet low from the drought 2 years ago
really.
when we had 100 consecutive days with 0 rain.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Never happened in Seattle.
Yeah,
No.
she is.
We had one year, it was like 9 months straight. It set the record for a number of days in a row, and we'd lived there for 30 years. And even Ron was like, yes, I like the rain, but this is a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was in Hawaii one time that it rained like a deluge downpour, torrential rain for 40 days and 40 nights.
Did it?
And the whole island just, I mean, they're shaped like this, so, but people live down at the bottom. And so we were on Kauai at the time. And normally from the place that we stay, you could see one waterfall coming down off the top of the mountain. At the end of that, you could see 38 waterfalls coming off the top of the mountain. And like the entire town of Honolulu was 12 feet underwater. Which doesn't make much sense. You're on an island, it ought to just flow into the sea, right? But
It should.
yeah.
But it stops at the bottom, huh?
The airport was closed for like 50 days. Couldn't get on, couldn't get off.
Oh, wow.
The road goes around the outside of the island, and it was washed out just north of the town of Kapa'a. So if you were up on the north side of the island, you couldn't get to the south side at all.
That's crazy.
The north side is where the resorts are, and the south side is where the people are. And so there was no housekeeping up there. There was like 2 ladies at the whole resort, and they were just running the machines so you could trade out your towels and linens when you needed to, not every day. And it was cool. Everybody got through it.
What is this knot right here?
That's where her hair is all coming back together like a cowlick.
Okay.
Their hair parts on their belly and comes back together on their back. So that's the point where all of her hair comes together and twists right there. And so they're usually upside down. So the water, rain hits their belly side and sheds off their backside.
Well,
Instead it hits their backside and sheds off their belly side.
aren't you amazing?
Vision is horrible. They have a structure of their eyes called rod monochromacy, which means they have all rod cells, no cone cells. And they see, chromatic, black and white. But beyond just being grayscale, their vision is horrible. So they can't see the difference between me and you. They know what I sound like and they know what I smell like. But they don't necessarily know what I look like because they're seeing shapes and shadows. And so I always wear the same cologne all the time so they know me before I even get in the room. And my monotone voice may not be great for the camera, but the sloths like it.
Does she spend time outside too?
So we haven't finished building her outside yet. Those sticks are to build it, but she just started moving down here in December and it hasn't been warm enough for her to go outside yet.
Oh, yeah.
But in the summertime, yes, they'll go in and out freely as they choose. And they do like the rain, so generally when it rains, they go outside, not stay inside. And so yeah, any day that it's above like 72 degrees, the door will stay open all day. And they'll come or go all day and all night. If it's warm at night,
Right.
they'll come and go as they want. But they're pretty spoiled with sleeping in their hammocks instead of in branches of trees, so they usually come back to their hammock.
Okay.
They may take a nap just hanging upside down for 4 or 5 hours in the middle of the day, but they usually come back to their hammock to sleep at night.
She's a little sweetie.
Their hearing is wonderful. A lot of people don't know that the sloth has ears. Her ears are right here. Her ears proportional to her head are as big as our ears proportional to our head. She's just like an 80s rock star. If you didn't dig through their hair, you wouldn't know there were ears there. Her sense of smell is wonderful. They also have a very, very good sense of spatial awareness. So they can cruise around blind in their home range of trees just as fast as if they could see. They have 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs. So they have more ribs than any other mammal because they're long and slinky shaped, and not only they need to protect their guts, but because they hang upside down, horizontally, vertically, however, because they can be in different physical positions at any hour of the day and 4 hours a day, they have connective tissue that goes all through their body cavity that holds all their stuff in place no matter their orientation. So like for us, our guts are sitting in our pelvis and upper bonded by our diaphragm. For them, they're connected all over, all through them. So, you know, for us, if we hung by our feet for a long time, it would begin to put back pressure on our diaphragm and it would get hard to breathe.
Right.
For them, that's not the case.
Wow. She's got a good grip.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's her relaxed state. So when they grip on, that's relaxed. That's why they can hang from trees for hours or days.
You're like a bird.
Is for us, our stress state, exertion state is this, relaxed is that. For a sloth, their relaxed state is this. Their exertion state is that. So they're exerting to open their hand, they're completely relaxed with their hand closed. So if a sloth is hanging in a tree and it dies, it will not necessarily fall. They could hang there dead for days or weeks until something rotted or until something knocked them out of the tree.
Oh, poor little thing. So she's got her little arm tucked around.
Yeah, they can be in any position. They can be comfortable in any position.
Just fascinating little animals.
They are.
Hi, sweetheart.
I could bore you with sloth facts for days, but most of the sloth facts are in the sloth encounter. And this one, generally people could just assume that I would shut up and just let them hold the sloth.
Oh, that's okay. I like listening to you.
Yeah.
I like hearing all the information about them.
Greet our next group.
I did hear her do the little exhale.
Did
If
you?
you hear a little noise, that's because their teeth grow for all of their life. So they're sharpening their teeth one against each other when they open and close their mouth.
Yeah, she's
They have no enamel on their teeth, and their teeth just wear down like rodent teeth do. But they grow forever, so they'll always have strong, sharp teeth.
She's got a grip on both my shoulders.
Yeah, she does. Good sweetie.
She is just.
I could see how calming that would be. Just holding her, because you have to slow down.
How's it going?
Oh,
Good. How are things?
Good.
Oh, you heard somebody new, didn't you?
She's like, oh, do you have food?
I know you.
Spend a lot of time together. She knows how to pose for the pictures, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She's like, it's all about me.
Pretty cool how they just relax on you, isn't it?
This is something.
My girlfriend's a therapist, and I was having her talk about all the chemical releases that we get with the oxytocin and everything, you know.
We just got our mural done. If you guys have seen us more than a week ago, this room was all just brown. This had a mural painter spent the last week here taking this all out. No, I can't draw as close as that. I am not an artiste. It's 80 degrees and 50% relative humidity in here all of the time.
Yeah, I did take my jacket off too. I was like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't compare, I got double layer sloth
There you go.
boots.
There you go.
This is,
So if you guys had a good time, we would very
Oh,
much
yes.
appreciate a Google review. We get enough people that don't like what we do.
Oh,
Oh,
no, this has been amazing.
All right, so we're going to transfer her to our next participant. Night, Zoe. She might hang on a little hard when I move this.
Yes, that's
There you
okay.
go. Night, Zoe. Good girl.
Okay, sweetheart.
Oh, come here, baby. Oh my goodness,
She had me.
getting heavy.
She
Get lighter tomorrow.
I was just gonna say, you'll drop some pounds tonight, sweetie.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, guys, thanks for coming out
Thank you
today.
so
thank
much.
you.
And there are t-shirts and jackets, hoodies and stuff out there. If you want to look at them, you're welcome to. If not, no harm, no foul.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, come on in. Whoever's first, the blue chair is the holding chair, the wood chair is the on-deck chair.
on deck, okay?
Yeah. All right, so while you were holding the sloth, she likes to hang around, but she likes to be petted in a very specific way. She likes you to pet her only on the back and at the speed of a sloth. She doesn't like you to be like, "Rah, rah, rah," and doesn't like nails and doesn't like scratching and rubbing the wrong way.
Okay.
Just at the speed of a sloth is how she likes to be petted, just like that. She probably will have her eyes closed. She is not asleep. She is smelling and listening and experiencing her environment. Their eyesight is horrible, and but she genuinely loves to snuggle around people's neck, and that's what we're gonna do.
And
So
her name is
here you
Zoe?
are. Her name is Zoe. Yep.
What do I do?
Just let her come to you.
Okay.
You don't have to grab her. Just support her under the bottom end.
Okay.
She's gonna sit on your arm or sit on that, one or the other.
Oh,
And the more you support her, the less she'll hang on hard around your neck. Yeah, there you go. And so Zoe is a two-toed sloth.
Two-toed, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, there are almost no three-toed sloths in the United States. They
Really?
can only eat cecropia leaves, and there are no cecropia groves. So if you're keeping a three-toed sloth, it's like keeping a just lost the word, koala, that you have to import their food every day of the week. And they tell you if you're going to keep a koala, you need to budget $700,000 a year to feed 1 to 4 of them, because you basically need a private jet to bring you leaves every day.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah,
What's her name again?
Zoe. So Zoe is 14 months old. Her birthday was December 16th. That is when she began to transition down here. You are welcome to take all the pictures and all the videos you want to. We are not one of these crazies that charges you for a photo.
Do you like me, Zoe?
Zoe likes everybody as long as you're not jumpy and nervous.
You can come.
But with most of our animals, we find that animals mirror people. You know, if you put a jumpy, nervous, excited person on a horse, you're going to have a jumpy, nervous, excited horse. With sloths, we find that people mirror sloths. And
Is this normal?
yeah, it's normal. And so we find that people mirror sloths. So generally speaking, you get a sloth hanging on you and the world just kind of slows down.
I saw you in a commercial last weekend.
It's a good girl.
Really, what commercial did you see?
There was a Super Bowl commercial with sloths. I can't even remember what the commercial was
Oh
for.
yeah, I did. I remember seeing
The
that.
beer commercial, and I was like, that'll probably help us.
Yeah.
Because there was
Was
sloths in
it
the whole
beer?
thing.
I couldn't
Yeah,
remember.
like they did no labels of anything, but it's supposed to be for like Miller Lite or Bud Light or something like that, because I think it was blue. And the whole thing is just the sloths walking around with the beer and the whole thing.
That's cool. That was the only good thing about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
So I was in.
I guess if you were an Eagles fan, it's fun to watch a blowout, but
Yeah.
nobody else wants to watch a blowout.
Right, and definitely not the halftime show.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
So
I mean, on the, like when you see it on TikTok today, you can understand what he said, But during the Super
didn't
Bowl, I was like,
understand a
blah,
word.
blah, 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 blah. I
I
didn't
know.
understand anything he said the whole time.
Me neither.
So
Now everybody just wants to talk about it. It was a whole halftime show of just dissing someone he doesn't like.
Yeah, whatever.
whatever.
Couldn't care less.
My husband and I were in Houston in December, and I found a farm there. The name's left me, but it was in Spring, Texas, so it's about an hour north of Houston. And they had a farm that had sloths.
Oh, really?
They had 3.
Mm-hmm.
2, they were like teenage age, whatever teenage age is. 2 you could pet and feed, but they didn't want to be held.
Yeah.
And then 1, she wasn't tame yet. She was.
So when you're, I'll go ahead and give my disclaimer now. I give a disclaimer every encounter. Our sloths are not normal sloths. So our sloths are many generations captive bred, and our sloths are people oriented to. Our sloths are oriented to. So it's important for us to point out that the fact that we have sweet, cuddly sloths that love to hang around your neck does not mean it's a good idea to go get yourself a pet sloth. So a rule of thumb, if you paid less for the sloth than you paid for your car, you are getting a wild-caught sloth. And it is a reprehensible thing to take a sloth out of the rainforest and very harmful to their numbers. And not only that, but it is like comparing a house cat and a feral cat. If you take your house cat and you throw it out into the forest, it's going to be short. If you take a feral cat and you try to have it live in your living room, it's not going to go well for anyone. Same way with sloths. Only difference is that with a sloth, if you take a wild-caught sloth and try to make it captive, odds are that the sloth will only survive a couple months because it will stress them so badly. But,
What is their lifespan typically?
so in the wild, they say it's around 20 years. In captivity for a captive bred sloth, it's about 50. In
Wow.
captivity for a sloth that was kidnapped out of the rainforest, it can be only a couple of months.
Just stay from my neck. Is this the only sloth you have?
Oh, we have 3.
Okay, I thought you had more.
Okay,
What's your
honey.
milk, honey? So the ones that we visited, I thought were 3-toed. I'd have to look back. They said they only poop once a month.
Poop
No,
once
they
a
poop
month?
about 3 or 4 times a month.
Look at me.
That's crazy. That's
Oh, baby girl. Yes, you want to come with me?
3-toed sloths are, if you're trying to tell the difference, and you, aside from counting the toes, 3-toed sloths have the mask on their face, it looks like, and 3-toed sloths look like they're permanently smiling.
yeah.
2-toed don't.
Okay.
I'll pull up the pictures whenever you're having your holding time. If you get holding time.
How much does she weigh?
Right now, she probably weighs about 14. Her normal body weight is about 10 and a half.
So she needs to poop.
Yep, she'll probably poop tonight. And you see how she's like a little fat, chunky Buddha right now?
Mhm.
Probably tomorrow she'll look like a cylinder again.
Huh.
So they eat about 10% of their body weight every single day and go to the bathroom 3 or 4 times a month. So when they go to the bathroom, it's epic.
You got an itch? I'm not gonna
What do
say.
they eat?
She is still on her baby diet, so she eats primarily rice with some dog food dissolved in it and some sweet potatoes shredded in it.
These
And,
aren't real honey.
After that, they are
She's
eating.
kind of sucking on my chest.
Well, sloths only feed their babies with milk for about 3 to 6 weeks, and she is a year, 2 months old. She's not looking for milk.
Well, I've had breast cancer, so I don't have any anyhow, so it's okay.
I had testicular cancer. That's why the Navy changed my call sign to Uno.
I'm still going under reconstruction, and I've got called one of mine my Frankenboob.
You survive, though. It's a great life experience.
True.
Changes your attitude about everything. Some things just don't matter.
If you don't need a babysitter, because I can
After at my house, I work from home.
Is your home 80 degrees and 50% relative humidity?
But she can stay at my mom's.
Not with my hot flashes, it's not. No. But I want her.
Yeah,
I want her forever.
she is. So where we get our baby sloths and why they are so friendly like this, he's been breeding sloths for 30 years. And she is probably generation 8 or 9 captive bred. I don't remember. And his mother animals are clicker trained. So click, 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 I'm gonna take the baby, but it will be right back. So it doesn't stress the mothers and therefore it doesn't stress the babies. So on day 14 of their life, they start to be held every single day by humans. Starts from 30 seconds, then 45, then a minute, and so on. Until by the time that the mother has chosen of her own choosing to wean her baby, it's being held for 30, 45 minutes at a time, several times a day. And so these babies get all the social and nutritional benefit of being a mother-raised sloth while getting all the social benefit of being a people-raised sloth. So we feel like we get the healthiest, best digested animals there are from him.
Can you see her ear from here? Does she mind if you show it?
No, she has
Her
ears
ears are kind of weird.
right there.
Oh
Her ears
my
are just like
gosh.
ours.
Yeah. That's a cute ear, isn't it? So where are the other sloths?
One is in the room next door. His room is 20-some feet tall. And the other one is a little baby, so he still lives in the house. And he will start to transition down here when he's a year old.
What are you doing? Yeah, the ones that I got to feed and pet, really sharp teeth in the front.
Ours do too.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a good thing, that they had big sharp teeth in the front,
Mhm.
because some places pull their sloth's teeth so that they cannot bite a person. Ours just like what they do, so they don't bite a person. But she is still a baby, so if she yawns, you'll see that her teeth are about this big, and our big boy, his teeth are about that big. And as you're looking for a place to do a sloth encounter, the two things I recommend looking at is seeing if you see any pictures of toothless sloths, and to see how many hours a day they book encounters with each individual sloth. Ours do a total of 2 encounters per day. That's it.
Wow,
Yeah, Jason almost messed up and didn't get us in.
he did.
Well, he booked the hotel, whatever that place is,
Oh.
first, then remembered to call and make an appointment.
And it's a weekday, so that's how you manage to get in. Weekends, we're booking in May right now. Weekdays, we have better availability. And Monday to Thursday is the only days that we do Sloth Keeper of the Day. That's where you come and spend 3 hours with me and the sloths. But that one is really hard to book, because we have to block out every other encounter with the sloths, because, we only do 2 a day.
I can just imagine having a stressful day. And I come get Zoe and it all goes away. No more stress.
Alright, let's let our other person have a turn. She's gonna say night, Zoe. And she's gonna go to her snuggie. Hey, baby. Oh, good girl.
Oh.
Oh, good girl. No, don't take my tag, sweetheart. There we go.
She's like, whatever.
She's got a hold.
There we go. Got her bottom.
Yeah.
You got her? Okay. Do not want to,
Girl.
do not want to drop her. Oh, yeah.
Actually, it probably wouldn't hurt her. Sloths in the rainforest can take an 80 to 100 foot drop out of the rainforest canopy all the way to the ground.
Yeah?
Of course, we're going on the concrete here, so we don't want to drop her, but
No.
the likelihood of her being injured from the 3-foot drop is negligible.
My glasses real quick. Zoe? Hey.
y'all, does she get baths?
No.
Okay.
Only if she goes to the bathroom and gets herself dirty.
Yeah, that's how those work.
But she doesn't like baths, and in the room next door, there's misters in the wall, and they can go over by the misters or they cannot. And in the summertime, you know, the doors are open, and if it's raining and they want to get wet, they'll go outside in the rain.
She said she was trying to demo my nose.
Are you doing my nose?
It's funny how they can't see very well.
Yeah, they're working on smell and hearing. Might be easier to search location.
I know, I can't find my little thing.
They update these things all the time, and then you can't find a darn thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Zoe, you going to sleep? You sleep?
Now, before I knew better, I did go to the one in Roatan, Honduras, and it was a beautiful and cool and lifetime experience. And only after that I found out how absolutely unethical they are down there. Getting sloths out of the wild.
There's the boy, Oliver.
There, that's a two-toed.
Okay. And then, that's Oliver.
Going to sleep, so.
Still Oliver. Still Oliver. Here she is. I think her name
Yeah,
is
that's
Sophie.
also two-toed.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Those are Linnaeus two-toed sloths, same as these.
Zoe. They're sweet though.
That's the one that's not tame yet. So she kept trying to latch on to him. That's our tour guide. That one just popped his head right in front of us. Hey, what are you doing?
So the problem with not tame is if a sloth is, no, never mind, I'm not gonna talk about other people.
It's okay. I don't know these people. I just went to their.
I'm on live right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna say anything bad about someone else. But a sloth that's not tame is not going to be.
Zoe. Hey, Zoe. Look over here, baby girl.
You're welcome to walk in front of the camera to take a picture.
Oh my goodness, Zoe. Look at you. Aren't you precious? Look at that little face. Look at her. Hey, Zoe. Hey, Zoe.
That's where you guys staying.
Hotel Chevelle Hotel. It's one of the Chattanooga choo-choo trains that they
Oh,
turn
okay.
into like an Airbnb.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I think he looked here, y'all, but
Do they have the singing waiters back down there?
I didn't see anything about any singing waiters.
There's a
Never
restaurant in the Chattanooga Choo Choo
I think we're going there
that
tonight.
it used to be pre-COVID. Singing waiters was the thing. All the waiters sing, and you know, every so often they do a little thing where they all sing, and you know, going all the way back to Glenn Miller days, it's been "Pardon me, boys, it's the Chattanooga Choo Choo."
Yeah.
Elsa's daughter.
Famous for a long time, but then in COVID, they stopped with the singing waiters, and I don't know if they ever went back to it or not.
I hope so. That'd be fun.
Hey, Zoe. Hey, Zoe.
If you're down there, do you have plans tomorrow?
Not during the day. We've got dinner plans every night.
Ruby Falls is a good thing to see while you're there.
Oh, okay.
It's the tallest underground
Yeah,
waterfall
I
in the
think
world.
I went there when I was little. I don't remember it.
It's
though.
like,
been so long.
It's like a cave tour and a waterfall, and the weather's the same
Yeah.
all the time because it's in a cave, and tomorrow it's
Mhm.
supposed to rain, so that might be a
Good
fun thing to do
idea.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Chattanooga Aquarium is really, really nice.
Yeah.
Um,
We went there right after it opened. I haven't been back since. Where is it? There it is. You can take a picture of it here.
Yeah, because Tony probably doesn't know.
Can you hear through that hair?
she has an excellent hearing. So for Flash, when I open his door in the morning, I say, "Hey, Flash," and he just scurries right down to us.
Flash.
She's out.
Yeah, I
The
love
other
that
one's
name,
Flash.
Flash.
She's Zoe, he's Flash, the little Little baby boy is Dash, the next baby is Chloe.
Oh.
Chloe has not been weaned by her mother yet, so we have no idea when she'll be here.
So, if she's just in here by herself, what does she do? Just sit on one of those branches and?
I climbs around on her branches, but she's not by herself a whole lot.
Oh,
Our staff holds her for hours a day.
oh, really?
And if it's warm out, she goes out on walks with us, and she'll come up and sit on my lap and watch a movie. Or, you know. She has an enclosure in our bedroom that she
Nuh-uh.
likes to. Yeah, they just live in our bedroom until they're a year old, and just come out for encounters, and that's it.
Aw.
And I get a certain amount of grief on, the keyboard warriors because the little baby cages are great big parrot cages. And people be like, oh, it's so awful, she's in a cage. I'm like, yeah, your little baby's in a cage too, you call it a crib.
Yeah.
And my baby's crib doesn't have a lid on it. And I'll be like, well, I promise you, if your baby could crawl like mine, or climb like mine, it would. You keep them safe, that's the point.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about letting them out at night, to go potty. Is anybody out there?
I don't know. Anybody other quiet?
No, I meant in the
Oh
enclosure.
no, that's her outside.
Oh, okay.
No, she just started transitioning down here on her birthday, December 16th. And we haven't built her outside yet because it's not warm enough for her to be in it.
How warm does it have to be before she can stay outside for anyone?
70.
Are you cold?
And then
yet?
if it gets up to 80, we just leave the doors open. They can come and go in and out as they feel like it.
That's fun.
Or 75 maybe.
That's fun.
And in the summertime, if it's warm enough, their doors can stay open all day and all night. Cages are strong enough that no predator can get to them.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think? Zoe? I think Zoe. Oh, Zoe.
Do they drink much water?
Almost none. They
That's
have
crazy.
water out available to them all
Yeah.
of the time,
Zoe.
but they get almost all their water from their food.
Yeah.
So, like the big guy, his diet is 7 ounces of veggies in the morning and a pound of leaves during the day. And then he gets 2 hard-boiled eggs a week, 3 servings of fruit a week, and some biscuits for his teeth.
I can't imagine not pooping that much.
I know.
So, yeah, right, 10% of their body weight. So I weigh 180, so that would be me eating 18 pounds of food a day. And when they go to the bathroom, don't put your finger in their mouth.
Okay.
When they go to the bathroom, 1/3 of their body weight. So again, I weigh 180. That would be, a bag of dog food in a 5-gallon bucket.
I just want to see your toe.
He's like all chillax, just flumped.
Is it nap time? Where's your keepers?
As she yawns, you'll see him. Yeah, if you were a believer in the evolution system of things, and you picked up the skeleton of a sloth, you surely would come up with a design of an apex predator. Because like the grown ones, their teeth are like that big, and their claws are 3-4 inches long. They have arms as long as their whole body, legs as long as their whole body. You surely would draw a picture of some kind of monkey sort of thing flying around the trees and killing everything. You wouldn't come up with a slow, peaceful animal that's going to hide its whole life until it's caught by a predator.
They're faster than I thought they would be, at least these were. Cause
Ours are too.
I was feeding him green beans
Mm-hmm.
and sweet potatoes, and he got impatient, and before I knew it, he was reaching for it, and
Yeah.
his arm was pretty long too. I was like,
Yeah.
calm down, buddy, Oliver, I'll get you soon.
Do you brush your teeth, Zoe?
No. Their teeth have no enamel, so if you hear a little noise, sinus, that's them sharpening their teeth against their teeth. So whenever they open and close their mouth, their teeth are rubbing against each other to sharpen them. So their teeth will grow throughout their life, but they don't get replacement teeth. So they'll always have long, strong, sharp teeth, but they never get another one. And in captivity, if they're captive bred sloths, these guys can live for 50 years. If they're wild caught sloths, they will have a short lifespan.
So who gets your after y'all are gone?
I have two sons that are, one son works here all the time and one is here when he's home from college.
Well,
And both of them are interested in going into, family business.
I was gonna ask to be in your will.
How long have you been doing this?
3 years. But we
All
only
of this?
opened, I built this building 2 years ago.
Really?
But we've only been open to non-lodging guests since February 24. I finished building this building and the grand opening on this was October of 23. So we just opened, and I didn't have time to see one more person on the farm. So February 24 is when we opened to non-lodging guests. And then we just started to get super busy after Kevin came here to be our social media guy.
Mhm.
And he gets, millions of views a day. So we stay
That's
pretty
awesome.
busy now.
I don't think you have.
Our lives sometimes get crazy many views on them. If I have a day that I don't have anybody in here, so 12,000 on that one. If I have a day that I don't have anybody in here, I'll sit and feed them and do Q&A while I feed them their breakfast. But most of the time, nobody's even looking at the camera because, it's about people that are here for the experience.
Yeah.
And we're happy that other people can watch and enjoy, but it's about you guys, not about the camera.
So I guess y'all get to go on many vacations, do you?
I've been on one in 5 years. I just went on the 7 Churches of Revelation tour in Turkey
Oh, wow.
in December. And that was the first vacation I went on in 5 years.
Wow. I bet that was awesome.
It was very cautionary tale though, because the 7 Churches of Revelation, these are like the original 7 churches that actually had a place that was a church. And currently in Turkey there are approximately 0 Christian people. And it makes me say, why do they want Western culture, Western music, Western food, Western culture, but they don't want Western religion? And, in my soul searching, I think that is because we do a horrible job of representing exactly how awesome it is to serve a God who actually cares about our everyday existence and is actually real.
Yeah.
And so, if I'm as miserable and sick and broke and tired as my non-Christian neighbors, I'm not doing much of a job of representing the Savior who saved me.
How long were you there?
10 days. Awesome trip. It was with Signature Tours.
Mhm.
And they put on a really, really nice trip. The tour guide that we had been a tour guide for like 40 years, so man knew everything. And riding around in fancy Mercedes buses and staying in 5-star hotels, and every single meal for the whole 10 days is already planned. And you roll up in the bus and there's a whole restaurant waiting to greet the bus, and it really was nice. When I first looked at it, I'm like, that's kind of pricey. But when I did it, I'm like, wow, that was really
Worth
I
it.
could not have done this on my own for that.
Right.
I think it was, including the airfare, I think it was about $5,000 or $6,000 a person. I couldn't
Wow,
have planned that
that's
trip myself
nothing.
for that.
No.
No, not even close.
Not. We spent more than that in Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was 5-star everything all the way. It was great.
Hey Zoe, we need more support, or you good? You seem to be pretty good.
And Signature Tours is out of Atlanta, and you can organize tours to anywhere in the world through them.
Hmm.
And I really would recommend them. And I don't get anything for saying that. I just enjoy their tour.
Yeah.
You seem to be pretty good. Did you get a picture?
Oh, I got lots of pictures.
I signed up my next tour with them while I was on the last tour with them. Next one is Egypt. My wife has never been to Egypt.
Yeah, I bet that would be amazing.
Well, and our pastor was with us, so he was giving some context to what you read.
Oh, nice.
So like, you know, the one that it says, because you're neither hot nor cold but lukewarm, I'll spew you out of my mouth.
Mhm.
I didn't know before how very meaningful that would have been to the people that are there, because that church or that town, it's an engineering marvel that they have water that's piped all the way out of the mountains to the town, meant to be ice cold,
Mhm.
and they have water that pipes from the hot springs to the town, meant to be hot. So it's the first place on earth to have hot and cold running water. But in point of fact, when they actually got it all done and they're piping freezing cold water from miles away and boiling hot water from miles away, when they get there it's all just lukewarm. And so you couldn't have hot water or cold water, all you had is lukewarm, and you're like, you know, they spent the fortune of the town making this system, and all they had was, you know, same water as everybody else. And I guess that the mineralized water, when it's very cold it's good, when it's very hot it's good, when it's lukewarm it like tastes awful. So and so as we went around on the tour, they're showing how very meaningful the real world examples were that he said to each church, and how you know, like everything else, all the other parables, how utterly clear they are. It's pretty awesome though.
Is there another one?
Mm-hmm.
You having a dream?
That's what I wonder if they have dreams. And what do they dream about? Please. Being in a commercial.
You dream about Red Bull?
Maybe that's what was the commercial.
I
remember.
don't
You're gonna have to look it
remember. Yeah.
At the time I thought it was cool, but the game was so miserable I didn't really care.
Does she like belly rubs?
Hates it.
Oh.
Hates belly rubs.
Yeah, hates it. Doesn't like her feet messed with, doesn't like her belly. So our new little guy, we're petting his belly and his feet every day, kind of desensitizing him to the belly and the feet. So, you know, as a prey animal, you know, your underbelly is where you're gonna get it from a predator.
Yeah.
So the little guy when I'm holding him, and I rub his ears like this, and he just goes to sleep, and I rub his feet like that, and he just, you know, if he could purr, he would.
Can you purr?
No. Her sound is oof, oof.
Oh,
And
yeah?
that's- Yeah, when you go to set her down, she goes oof, oof, which means no, hold me, hold me, hold me.
Are you spoiled? Is it possible that you're spoiled?
All of our animals are spoiled.
I understand.
That was the official diagnosis on my camel. We thought he might have arthritis because he just took out grumbling all the time. And we did every test there is to do, and you know, we put some serious effort into finding out of this. The final analysis was the camel's lazy, because where he came from, he did 300 or 400 camel rides a day, 364 days of the year.
Aw.
And here, the most camel rides he's ever done in a day is maybe 20, and at least half the days of the year he does 0. So now we got to throw the saddle on him. He's like I want my union rep. And
I didn't sign for this. I thought I was retired.
we even went to the extent of treating him with meloxicam for a month to see if it made any difference. Meloxicam is, you know, arthritis medicine, because you can't really test for that. And so for a human, the dose of meloxicam would be 1 pill, 1 to 10 milligram pill. For a horse that weighs 1,000 pounds, the dose is 100 milligrams. For a camel, the dose is 6,000 milligrams. So we gave him 6,000 milligrams for a day for a month. No
That was
difference.
expensive.
Put a stick across his hind end one time which is what the camel trainer said from day one, is camels just testing you. Put a stick across the hind end one time, your problem solved. I'm like, oh well, there we go. And now he's fine.
Nobody gonna put a stick on your hind end, are they?
But all of my animals are my babies and pets.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be surprised to know. Camel trainer told me if you ever need to dominate a camel, maybe I shouldn't say it on live, but I don't have a filter anyway, so you have to put a ring into a post all the way down to the ground and drag their head down to the ground and pee all over their head, and that's how you dominate a camel. I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. And he's like, oh no, I'm telling you, it'll work. Because when camels fight, they'll either fight to the death or until one lays down flat on the ground. That means I surrender, and the other one walks up and pees all over their face.
Huh.
And those two camels will never fight again, and the one that got peed on will be dominated, and the one that did the peeing will be dominant.
I keep waiting for her to yawn. I was
I
wanting
know. Are you sleepy?
I'll make her look up at you. Zo. Hey, baby girl. Zo. Hi, girl.
Did we wake you up? Did we wake you up?
Hi, baby.
Aren't you so sleepy? Ah. Ah. I know you can't see it. Ooh.
I wonder what they do see. Just, is it blurry?
Shapes and shadows. Without color.
She's doesn't really care.
No.
No, she's in her favorite position. Sitting in somebody's lap, chillaxing.
That's so funny that she's just hanging. You're just hanging. That's what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. Something.
Got the puzzle piece. We're wrapping up, Kevin.
All good. I'm gonna take them outside and let people see some big animals.
All right, cool.